Hello and welcome to Power Talk. I'm your host, Nasty Noop. And my co-host tonight, I have Terra Dome and I have Fellow Craft on the line with me tonight. How are you fellas doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
All right. So we're at the halfway point of the 2017 season. So today we're here to discuss the power rankings for the Dynasty Madden League. So what do you guys thought so far in the season?
It's a great season so far. Man, got a lot of competition. Got a lot of guys, stepping up. Some guys making their name. It's looking good so far this year, man. It's looking good so far.
Yeah, I would definitely second that. The users that are at the top seem to be some of the regular usual suspects. As they say, the cream always rises. Saw a crazy game today with the Steelers and the Ravens. Steelers definitely looked unstoppable. I know we'll get to them in a little bit, but they're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with come these next few weeks, as well as the playoffs, which I definitely see them kind of going far in the playoffs. So I'm ready to go ahead and kick it off.
Oh, I totally agree. I think Madden 17 is separating the boys from the men from the boys at this point because if you're not adjusting to the new style of play, you may fall to the wayside. The zone coverages are tight. Man coverage not so much anymore. So I know personally for myself, I had to adjust my game in order to catch up with the rest of the league. So right now, I'm really excited about this season. But I guess we can go ahead and kick off the list, man. We can start with number 10 to see who falls in this position.
All right, let's go.
The Eagles. I am E-Ness at number 10. Through 8 games, E-Ness is currently 4-3. So how do you guys feel about those Eagles?
One thing I can say about the Eagles is, man, the red zone efficiency. They had 29 trips, and out of those 29 trips, he scored 19 touchdowns. So this is the team that that gets in that red zone and know how to punch it in for 7. And another thing that I on is he didn't yet have no key injuries. He's sitting at 4-3 right now, but his guys are healthy, and he previously won a Super Bowl, so that's not right now. To me, I think that's a key spot to be in for him. It's not too bad, not too good, but I'm looking forward to making that push, being a little bit higher in the near future on the list.
Yeah, I'm probably a little more partial to the Eagles since I recently played him. He got the victory in that game. I think actually the 4-3 record, you really shouldn't look at that. The Eagles are the defending champions. His team is pretty loaded, although he'll tell you that it's not. He likes to eat humble pie every day, but I think we know a little bit better than that of what I am E-Ness is capable of. Again, he's rolling with like 17 sacks already on the season. Only 2 fumbles caused, but he's got 23 interceptions. So defensively, he's looking good. His guys are in position every time you get ready to drop back and throw the ball. He's definitely a tough out. And, he's actually my sleeper to go through the playoffs. For somebody on our side to get through, I'm kind of looking for him to get knocked out early. If not, he's going to be a force.
All right. So I guess we'll move on to the number 9 slot here. And who's coming in at number 9? Yep, Kansas City, capital KSU. Currently sitting at 5-2 with 8 games played in the season. So what do you guys think?
With the Chiefs is also another team that, like I said, paying attention to the red zone efficiency. One thing I can see in Madden 17, they made it tough on people to score in the red zone. So when I look at this stat with him taking 25 trips and scoring 18 touchdowns, to me that is a big up because you have to know how to punch the ball in the end zone and get 7 points. I've seen key guys get into the red zone multiple times and only come away with 3 points, and that comes back to bite them in the back. And another thing about this Kansas City Chiefs team that I noticed is they secondary knows how to make plays. He has a current 23 takeaways right now, so I think if he keeps it up as far as, with the red zone efficiency, keep getting down there, punching the ball into the end zone, and keep that defense making plays, he would be another team also higher up on the list in the near future.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And although the defensive stats don't really tell the whole story because the Chiefs are not the top in the defense. However, I mean they play good ball. They definitely know how to play the zones. They're usually in the right position. Offensively, they're probably around the middle of the pack. But you're talking about a team with a lot of players with a good user behind them who's kind of familiar with the law of the land as far as the dynasty. So, I mean, he plays good ball. I'm looking for the Chiefs to keep doing some things. And, he's definitely a great player for the AFC West.
All right. So, I guess moving on to number 8. Coming in at number 8 for the Chicago Bears. We have Mittens. Currently sitting at 5-2. So, he's a former champ. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah. Well, for me, if I may, Raider Nation, real quick. For me, the Bears, man, the Bears are definitely one of those teams you cannot sleep on. Sitting at 5-2, he's one of those guys that are consistently near the top. I mean, he's just one of those players who knows how to play defense, knows how to play offense, special teams, and he's always a tough out. So I definitely see Mittens kind of doing his thing and kind of keeping this train rolling for the NFC.
One thing I can say about the Bears is they're out there running the rock hard out there in the shot. This rookie running back is lighting the lead up. Once I noticed that he was a real deal, it was a Week 5 game where he rushed for a total of 264 yards and for 3 touchdowns. When you're a champion, you find different ways to win. Coming into Madden 17, looking at the Chicago team, you would have never thought that they'd be sitting at 5-2. But the heart of a champion always figures out how to win, and that's just what he's doing out there in Chicago. He's executing on the offensive side of the ball, but also executing on the defensive side of the ball. Floyd's actually leading the league right now in interceptions. And another thing I paid attention to is the penalties. He only has a total of 6 penalties, only giving up 55 yards. Everybody knows in Madden, penalties plays a big key in games. And for him to show that that team is disciplined, and this is another team that in the near future, I'm predicting that will be also higher up in the rankings.
Oh, okay. I think that Week 5 game was against me. He put up almost 300 yards on me, so I'm bringing up some bad memories. But let's keep it moving. Coming in at number 7. Yeah, those boys out of the Black Hole Raiders. Currently sitting at 6-1. Tone, I think you should start this one off. Yeah. Hey, Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah, this is your team, man. So currently you're sitting at 6-1, you holding it down. So how do you feel about the season so far?
This season, it's been up and been down. A couple key guys was hurt in the beginning of the season, so a couple guys stepped up, filled their shoes, and my last week game was actually the first time that I had my whole offense together, and I like what I seen. But I'm in a tough division right now. All my division pairs, they're playing hard. So right now, by the season, I'm just going with the flow of it. Things is clicking right now. Hopefully, my guys can stay healthy and just keep the ball moving.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's totally understandable. So I guess until I guess Tone is having some technical difficulties right now.
I'm available.
Okay, you're back.
Just real quick, if I could touch on this, the Raiders are sitting in the top 10 in the offensive categories. Defense, they're actually number 2 overall, allowing only 1,584 in passing throughout the year so far. 366 yards on the ground. So they have a top-notch defense, which I think they're relying on. And, I mean, those receivers that he's got over there, I mean, these boys are playing lights out. So the Raiders are definitely a team, not necessarily on the rise, but sitting at the top. So I look kind of forward to the Raiders kind of keeping that thing going and having a deep playoff push for our league.
Oh, okay. I totally agree. And moving forward, moving on to the number 6 slot, we're coming up on the might be a little bit close to home for you. Seattle Seahawks. Our co-host,
Yes,
fellow craft.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what are your thoughts on this, Chris?
With the Seahawks, man, one thing I can say is Russell Wilson. He's the key guy this year. You know, they had come off a couple shaky losses, but for the most part, Russell Wilson is playing MVP football. He's thrown for 26, 35 passing yards and 20 touchdowns. To me, he's the key to the Seahawks' run this season. But they also, their defense is causing havoc, having a total of 18 season sacks and 7 interceptions. As long as those two things continue to click, it's going to be a major threat in this league and also in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, my team is playing pretty good right now. We had a crazy game versus the 49ers at their house, so I'm looking forward to that rematch at my house. The Eagles, we kind of talked about that game. He beat me fair and square, so definitely not taking nothing away from him. But my Seahawks, I got us sitting in the top 10 in defense, and we're actually sitting atop the league in total offense. So offensively, I think I'm fine. I'm good. Definitely want to tighten up a few screws on defense. I got to get my defense up like the nasty Noops up in Atlanta. But once I do just a little bit, I think I'll be in a good position just to kind of keep this train rolling.
All right. Moving on to the number 5 team. This is another team from the NFC West. Currently sitting at 6-1. We have the Cardinals with SJ Fresh.
Man, FSJ. But look, check this out. So look, the Cards. This is my dude. The Cards. His only loss came to yours truly. But this is a player that is to be reckoned with. This guy's passing game is second to none other. You never really kind of know what you're going to get, what you're looking for. He throws the ball downfield almost better than anybody that I know that's playing in this league. His defense right now is playing lights out. I think he had something like 7 interceptions last game. He completely shut out the Rams all game last game. So I'm looking for the Cards to do something big. I know I got a big game against him in about 3 weeks, so we'll go at it again. But I'm looking forward to my boy SJ Fresh kind of rolling along with me through these playoffs.
Yeah, man, the Cardinals, man, having an amazing season. One thing I can say about them is that they taking care of the ball. They only got a total of 10 giveaways. You got some teams. I mean, I understand that. I'm saying what I'm saying. 10 is still to me is a lot, but you got some teams that's currently got 45 giveaways, 39 giveaways. So for me to see 10 at the state of the season where we at, to me that's an excellent thing right now. That attacking front four knows how to get to the quarterback. He's currently ranked 3rd in league sacks with 22. But by that front four attacking the quarterback is also taking a lot of pressure off of that secondary, which is also making a lot of big plays. They got 22 interceptions, I believe, on the season so far. So even though his offense is clicking, to me, I'm a defensive type of guy. As long as your defense is solid, you will always have a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. And this guy right now, man, how his defense is playing, is competing. He's competing.
All right. So I guess we're going to go ahead and move on to the number 4 position. This uses the dominating division first season. We have the Steelers, but that boy's good. Currently sitting at 6-1. So what do you guys think?
Man, that boy is actually very good. Sheesh. I mean, like I said, I watched the game earlier against the Ravens, and that was probably one of the most best put together, full, complete games that I've seen in a long time. His offense was clicking. His defense played lights out. When I say lights out, I'm talking about 11 interceptions in one game, guys. Wow. We got some teams through 6-8 games that still do not have 11 interceptions total. And this guy had them in one game. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. This guy has a scary team.
Wow, man. I guess that boy is good as the first user in the Dynasty Madden League to make somebody retire from the game. So I guess he holds that honor now.
Man, that boy good, man. Like I said, like this guy this offense is just too much. Like he can actually don't gotta play no defense. The offense is just outscoring anybody that they're playing, and they're doing it at a balanced level. We have a total of 19 passing touchdowns and 13 rushing touchdowns. So it's not like it's a one-sided type of offense. It's like you have to play a complete game for this offense. I believe Big Ben was out a couple games, and he had, I forget the quarterback, the backup that he had, but
I think it was Hoyer.
He was out there. He had Hoyer. Hoyer was out there playing like he was Big Ben in his prime. So it's like you could put anybody into this system and it's going to produce and it's making defenses, man, look silly out there. Like you said, he got users retiring. Like, is this team really that dangerous to where as though users don't even want to go up against it? But, the key thing with him, I believe, is keeping his guys healthy, man. As long as these guys can stay healthy, man, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes playoff times, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, I guess we'll move on to the number 3 position. Somebody coming out of the NFC South. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Gil Garza, currently sitting at 6-1. So what do you guys think here?
With the Bucs, man, I took my hat off to him because he's a new user. He came in, this year with a focused team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. This guy is ranked top 5 in both passing defense and run defense, and second in points allowed. So the guy is playing lights out on the defensive side of the ball. I believe if he could gel his offense and get it clicking to where as though, it's actually producing how the defense is, this guy will also be a force to be reckoned with. But big up to him because, he's a new user and it's hard, as you can see, a lot of new users adjusting to, the game level of the Dynasty users. Some guys can't compete, but he came in, man, and he turned that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team around, and he's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with the Bucs. I'm not overly impressed by his offense, but his defense is the thing that's kind of keeping this train moving. Again, just to reiterate, he's sitting atop of the league in defense, only second to the Raiders. This guy's defense knows what they're doing. The zones that he calls, the play selection that he calls, everything seems to be on point. It's almost like he's in your playbook and knows what is going on before you do. This guy's defense is top notch. I put him up there with the Steelers. Definitely looking forward to kind of seeing what he's going to do for the rest of the year. He's only got 1 loss currently. I know he wants to kind of keep his team to that. So I'm looking for big things from the Bucs, and I want to see how far he can go. I know he got put out the playoffs last year, and he wasn't too hot. He wasn't too nice about that. But he'll be looking to get back there, and he's looking to kind of stay.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. He's a good user. Plays great defense. It's hard to run the ball against him, being in the same division as him. So I do give him props on that. But I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the number 2 team in this year's power rankings. And this news is coming out of Texas Beanbags. So what do you guys think? He's currently sitting at 6-1 on the season, so he's holding it down so far.
Yeah, with the Texans, man, to me, basically with them, man, it looks like they back focused. That was the main thing last year that I was worried about the Texans. They wasn't focused. It seemed like they wasn't really into it. They tried to take on like the villain role, but this year it seems that he got his team back focused. He's back to playing how he plays, and he's getting high production out of his offense. Right now, they're at a total of 1926 passing yards and 919 rushing yards, and they're actually averaging 31.9 points per game. So, to me, when you focus and, you setting up the right schemes, you game planning, this is the type of production that you get out of your team. And this focus that he's on right now, I feel sorry for a lot of his up-and-coming opponents because this is the beanbags that people used to fear in the Madden 16. So, he's looked like he's back to getting it back on track. So, I'm looking to see what this guy can do and if he can keep it, going. And, just stay focused. That's all they got to do. Just stay focused. Just stay focused. And when they get playoff time, we'll see if he really the guy that, he used to be.
I would definitely agree with that. I think he's got a renewed focus, which kind of kicked in towards the end of last season. I mean, this guy has put together a complete team. He did give away Hopkins for either some picks or something else, but he reloaded with a top-notch quarterback. But even on the defensive side, he's sitting right now with 23 sacks and 19 interceptions. So, I mean, if you got to find some way to beat this guy defensively, because he's either going to get to your quarterback or his DBs are going to get to the ball. So, I mean, this guy is focused. Beans is back. You guys just be on the lookout. Do not sleep while you're on offense, because this guy will get you. I promise you, he will get you.
Yes, sir. J.J. Watt is unblockable. All right, so I guess we're moving on to the number one position. This team is near and dear to my heart. And then coming in the number one spot, we got the Atlanta Falcons. That's the new. This is my baby. We're currently sitting at 7-1. Last season, we finished the season with like the 30th ranked defense. That hurt my heart. So I took it upon myself in the offseason to get back in the lab and to get this defense rolling and get it going in the right direction. So right now, I'm happy, but I'm not where I want to be. I would like to put another ring on the finger to close out Madden 17. So what do you guys think?
The first thing that you gotta look at Atlanta Falcons is that 30 ranked defense last year. This year, man, it's all, to me, you know that they're not to play offense. You know Atlanta not to play offense. You know that. It's defense, man. Points is hard to come by on this team, man. They're only giving up a total of 93 points, which means that these guys are playing. They're playing to win. They back to that bloodhound, smothering defense that a lot of the users feared in Madden 16. We got a secondary with 29 takeaways. So it's like this defense, man, is starting to get to that point where as though they're winning games, man, and it's real scary. Like, it's scary, man. And when that playoff time come in, it's going to be to the point where as though that I look at it is that the level of the defense is going to rise up even more. So for up-and-coming opponents, man, look out, man. Just look out, man.
Yeah, and for me, the Falcons is, I mean, I want to just touch on the defense real quick. Definitely a team that I personally have kind of tried to model my defense after and look up to, just because of what the Falcons were doing in last year. Right now, they're sitting with 15 passing touchdowns per game offensively, with 10 rushing touchdowns. So offensively, I mean, this guy has got it together with Julio. His team is clicking. It's not the flashy offense, but it's a very super productive one, along with one of the top defenses in the league. I mean, there's no wonder why the Falcons are sitting at 7-1 right now and atop of the Dynasty. So, I mean, this guy, he's in a division with a few good players, but right now he's got the division on lock, he's got the conference on lock, and he's got the Dynasty on lock. He's number one, and I mean, this is going to be a great ride to the finish to see if anybody can knock him off.
Totally agree, man. I'm excited. So I guess in closing, man, so as we head into the second half of the season, what are you guys looking forward to? And any sleeper teams that you think will come out of nowhere and surprise us?
My sleeper team has to be the Bengals, man. Like, a lot of people is not like the Bengals offense, man. Just watching a couple of their games, man. Those guys, like, I watched a couple of games when they played against the high-power offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and these guys were competing. So my sleeper team has to be the Cincinnati Bengals, making a late push to get into the playoffs, man.
My sleeper team for me is actually the team who came in at number 10 in our top 10, which is the Eagles. Again, I think this guy's record does not show exactly kind of how his game is, Again, we're talking about the defending champion from last year. This guy's offense, I don't liken it to the Falcons, but it's something that is, they kind of line up and then they just hit you in the mouth. There's certain things, that he's doing that, these users need to really kind of figure out, because he's locking everybody up on defense and he's putting points on the board on offense. So I don't think you could ever count out a defending champion. He'll find a way to kind of either adjust or do certain things. So he's my sleeper pick. I think people are sleeping on those 3 losses, and they shouldn't be. If you are, you will get bit. I promise you.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I think my sleeper pick going into the second half of the season has to be the Browns. I'm still expecting him to do big things with that team up there after pretty much trading away a lot of good players last season to bring in a lot of young talent. So I'm thinking maybe in the second half of the season he's going to put it together and he's going to give the Steelers a run for their money in that division. But in closing,
I would completely agree.
Yes, but in closing with Power Talk, this was Power Talk 2017. We'll see you guys in Power Talk 2018. Maybe if you weren't on the list this time, get on the list for season 2028. Any closing words, fellas?
Keep up the competitiveness, man. Like, if your team is not clicking right now, don't fall into that dark hole or the slump. I mean, like they said, it's a marathon, not a race, man. Like, just keep up the good work, stay competitive, hang in there, man.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And shout out to the new users that are coming in. It's definitely a great, if not the best, Madden Sim League out there. I'm glad we welcome all the new users. Hopefully they can kind of find their place, find their niche, maybe get their team kind of settled in, get used to their team, and just looking forward to a great second half of the season.
All right, fellas, we're out.